I'm ready. I'm ready. Get it.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of BLASSIC, where we review black classics in film and television. It is me, your host, Louis B. And
Your boy K-Rod. What's up, fellas? How you doing, ladies?
listen, I know it's almost February, but Kev hit me up with a really good idea, and he was like, "Man, we should do like a top 5 movies of 2021." And I thought about it, and I was like, "Damn, let's do it." I wish we could have done it sooner, but listen, shit, I feel like until February, niggas still be like Happy New Year and shit. So I think we're just fine. We're good.
We good.
So we gonna do the top 5 movies of 2021.
I'll say this before we start off, man. 2021 has not been my favorite year for movies. Not that there hasn't been any good movies for it.
Okay.
But what I will say, how we have been having to experience our movies. I'll say when we start off right now.
Okay.
I'm a big movie theater guy, and a lot of our stuff has been reduced to television and streaming.
You gotta understand, my guy. We coming off of 2020 when the last BLASSIC I'll say we saw was Bad Boys for Life, and right after that shit shut down. So we was hurting out here.
Right.
In 2021, everything is like HBO Max shits and stuff like that.
And that's hurting Warner Brothers. That's
you think so? Yeah. Okay.
Listen, and I'll say this real quick, and we will speed through this. There's no real money in straight streaming. If you don't produce, if Netflix doesn't make it themselves. No, I'll explain. We'll explain later.
Yet. That's a fact. That's a fact. We are going to go ahead and name the movies that we will be picking from because I think that will be important. So I'm gonna go ahead and mention these movies. These were the best movies we feel that came out in 2021. If y'all have y'all own, please don't hesitate to add them in the comments. I also really love that the engagement is starting to go up. People are getting in the comments telling us the movies they want us to review, which means that y'all niggas are enjoying the movie reviews that we're putting out. So I definitely want to say I appreciate y'all, man, and the movies that y'all suggest, we're definitely gonna get to them. So yes, some of the movies that came out in 2021 are as follows: The Harder They Fall, Candyman, Malcolm and Marie, Judas and the Black Messiah, Space Jam 2, Coming to America, Respect, Concrete Cowboy, King Richard, The United States versus Billie Holiday, Fatherhood, A Journal for Jordan. I may be missing some, but yeah, I think Kevin got some honorable mentions that he'll mention when he go down his list. But those are what we'll be picking from. I feel like that's a pretty good concrete list of shit. Not only the movies that came out that we consider fully black movies, whether it's predominantly black cast or it's a black cast and everybody behind the scenes is black, as far as like directors and producers. That is how we pretty much pick what BLASSICs are. So those are pretty much the top black movies that came out in 2021. So we'll go ahead. You want to go ahead and start the list?
Man, I mean,
who want to go first? You or me?
It's whatever.
I don't care, dog.
I can definitely go. I'll
go for it.
Okay,
my fault. What we gonna do? We gonna go from 5 to 1, kind of create some suspense. So, 5 being like our fifth top movie. This is not by any means a best. We don't have the jurisdiction to say best. We don't have. We not experts in this shit. We just niggas that love movies. So these are our tops. We gonna go from 5 to 1.
Okay. All right, so for me, I guess I'll start off just to start it off. So my number 5 will be Space Jam: A New Legacy. I absolutely loved the movie. Okay. I thought it was very reminiscent of the original, but it did its own thing. Yeah. I felt like the story had more heart than the original movie. The son and father aspect was great, and I felt like it was hip, not overly hip. And every time I watch it a few times. I always catch something different. And my nieces and nephews, they actually enjoy the movie. Yeah. Just like I enjoy the movie, and that's what it's all about. I can't get them to watch the original. Yeah. So it succeeded. It succeeded to.
Why you say that? Is it because the original looks dated or something, or is it?
Wow. They just want to see the new shit.
They said I don't even know Michael Jordan.
Right. They want to see the new shit. Okay, so my number 4 will be Candyman. I thought it was a very stylish movie. I thought it was a thought-provoking horror slasher. I think Nia DaCosta did her thing as far as directing. Jordan Peele helped with the story. Great producer. I think none of the actors phoned in their performance. I think, like the original movie, it came with a thought-provoking idea, conflict, but I think it even went deeper since it was black people, black creators behind the scenes. So I think it elevated a little more. I would say my number 3 would be King Richard. King Richard was another great performance of Will Smith. Angelou Ellis, she was great. Sanaya Sidney, they were great. Demi Singleton, she was great. The girls were great. It was a great movie. I was, me not being a big sports follower, it was a great sports movie. It gave me the cliff notes to the tennis, something I kind of saw growing up, but I wasn't that invested in. And I thought it was a great movie for black excellence and a black father, which I absolutely loved.
Definitely.
My number 2 was Judas and the Black Messiah.
Okay,
right?
I didn't think you would. Okay, I'm gonna stop right here because I didn't think you would go for this. See, for me, I always, when it comes to like period pieces and more importantly, like, you know, films that depict racism and like slavery and shit, or just like, you know, with Judas and the Black Messiah, racism with the Black Panther Party and shit like that. I ain't know that was your cup of tea.
Well, see, no, I can't say that. See, the thing was, I'm gonna say it like this: when I went to see the movie, I kind of did feel like, out of like, I have to go see this movie because of what it is. Yeah. So I knew it was going to be good, but I didn't know how good it would be. Wow. So I went to saw the movie and it was excellent. I love the story and I love how they chose to show the movie through the eyes of the character of William O'Neill.
Interesting, yeah.
That was my favorite part. I think Daniel Kaluuya was great as Chairman Fred, but I think the MVP of that movie was Lakeith for me. Because you could easily...
That damn Lakeith!
And that was the first movie where I saw him where I was like, now I see why people love him like they do. Like, he's a great actor. I love it. But it was that character. Because he could have easily been somebody that you hated. Like, just like one of those villains from like a cartoon. But they were able to do, not just him, but the writing. They were able to make him a person that you couldn't understand. You didn't like what he did, but you understood what he was doing. Whether you understood it or not, these were like 20-year-olds. They look older, but these were like kids. They were kids.
I was about to say, I'm so conflicted because his performance in that movie, although great, oh man, I hated that shit.
Yo, you hated what happened, but you couldn't hate the character. You could not hate a young man who, in the beginning of the movie, was stealing from people. And there's this white man, as they do, said, I'm going to use you, put you in jail if you don't do this. And you always saw him being conflicted. Him not really wanting to do it. He had to do it. And that movie stuck with me for like 2 or 3 days.
I'm listening to something that you just said that's really important. Can't hate the role. You can't hate the role. You can only hate if the nigga playing the role didn't play it right, didn't act it right. So you can only hate on the nigga for not acting the role right. You can never hate on the role. I like that.
And I think that's one thing about being an actor. We're taught that you're not to judge the individual. I can't say he's a bad guy. Right. I have to act it as in I feel like I'm doing what's right, and it'll come out on screen. So my number 1 would be, and this was kind of hard because my number 1 was going to be my number 2. But
wait, you did 2 already?
Yeah, that was Judas and the Black Messiah. Yeah, I'm going through it.
Okay.
So my number 1 will be The Harder They Fall. I absolutely loved it. It's a movie that I saw similar to Black Panther. When I immediately saw it, I said, this is a movie I have to take my little brother to see. It was great. It was no struggle in the movie. It was just action. It was drama. It was comedy. It was black people in a Western. You rarely see it. It was an adventure.
Niggas was actually thriving.
It was great. I mean, as much as they could thrive. Yeah. And it wasn't necessarily a hero. Everybody was a bad guy to a certain extent. You had to choose who you wanted. I mean, you had great music. You had Regina King, Idris Elba. You had all these people. It was just a great movie. I feel like everybody should see it. It was almost a comic book type movie.
That's a fact.
Action movie. It was absolutely great. I love it.
That's a fact.
So my honorable mentions would be, I have 2 honorable mentions. They might not necessarily be BLASSIC, but they had black leads, black writers, and things like that. Coming to America. I know that's a very split decision movie. I absolutely love the movie. I thought everybody did their thing. The original cast came back, was great. Eddie Murphy was great. Arsenio Hall was great. It was a sequel to a movie that I liked.
Yeah.
I liked the second one. I didn't have that exact attachment that the other people had for the original.
You didn't have that same attachment for
no,
the original?
I'm saying I like the movie. I'm saying I don't have that same like, oh my god, this better be this, that. It was not.
I got you.
I like the movie.
Yeah.
I felt like the rest of the cast in the movie, the supporting cast was hilarious. To where I felt Eddie Murphy and Arsenio Hall was the only funny people in the first one. To be honest.
Okay.
Right. A lot of people was like, this feels like a kid's movie. It's not rated R. I think that's bullshit. I feel like the rating R for that movie was unnecessarily because the original movie seemed like a PG-13 movie to me. He said fuck one time. All they said was
fuck, yeah.
They said fuck one time. So I feel like it was a natural progression for that. So my last honorable mention would be Spiral. From the Book of Spiral with Chris Rock. That came out
this year?
I believe it came out this year. I don't think it came. If I'm wrong, I should go back.
Wow, damn.
I should go back. Like, I'm pretty sure it did. Now that you're questioning me about that. Right. Now that you're questioning me about that, let me make sure. 2021. I thought so.
That's
crazy.
Spiral
with Chris Rock. I thought it was a dope movie.
Long ass year.
It was a dope story from Chris Rock. I love how I don't know if y'all seen it. I don't know if you've seen it per se.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I thought it was great how they decided they wanted to go the angle of police brutality.
Yeah.
Chris Rock had a different, kind of different approach from the actual Saw movies.
It felt, the movie felt the same, but it felt fresh. It felt new, and more importantly, it did feel black.
You're a fan of those movies, right?
Yeah, I love those movies.
Right.
It felt black. It felt like Black Saw, even though... The two characters, Samuel L. Jackson and Chris Rock, they really carried that shit because they still had the original director from the Saw movies.
One of them, yeah. So I fuck with that. I love that movie, and that's my honorable mentions right now.
I fuck with it a lot. I'm gonna go ahead and give my top 5 movies of 2021. My number 5 movie is the same as yours. I'm going Space Jam 2. Seeing that movie in theaters, which it was also available on HBO Max, it was one of those movies that I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to get my ass up and go to the theater for this because I want to experience that. You know what I'm saying? I want to experience this movie where it needs to be experienced. Great kids movie. Great movie for us too if you just wanted some of the nostalgia, just like you spoke to earlier with it being a movie that... It grasped some of the great things that we love from the original one, but it stayed so true to just being new, to following new trends and really, all pun intended, setting a new legacy. Like it was, the title was really good for it. And it just felt black. It felt way blacker. You know, you had a black antagonist. You had so much just black in the movie. LeBron made it black. I wasn't even mad because a lot of people was mad that he was a cartoon for half the movie. It worked for me because they did so much Warner Brothers. They did so much Warner Brothers shit that just stayed true to them. So I fuck with that.
I love that aspect of it.
Great kids movie, great BLASSIC for me. Number 4 for me, it snuck out of 2021. It was right at the tail end because it came out on Christmas. A Journal for Jordan. I'm gonna go with A Journal for Jordan, played by Michael B. Jordan. God damn it. His acting, man. He's at first when he first came out, he was one of them guys that I was like, But time and time again, especially like from back when he did Just Mercy a couple years ago, he's just been showing me something, man. He's been showing me that.
It didn't start with Black
factor.
Panther?
Nah.
What?
Because I felt like I wanted to see him do serious roles. I think it's easy for you to do macho, machismo, shit like that. But when you get into a different bag, I was thankful to see that. So A Journal for Jordan is a great movie directed by the great Denzel Washington, which I love that as well. It was one of them emotional movies, but it was also a good love story, man. Just a really good, wholesome love story. It wasn't corny. You can take your girl to see it and y'all will leave the movie feeling real good about yourselves and shit like that. It was a really great watch.
I'm checking it out.
My only gripe, because I do have a gripe. When you watch A Journal for Jordan, just notice like, okay, it's a BLASSIC. You know it's a BLASSIC. 2 main characters are black. Everybody around them, though, is just kind of like their best friends was just like straight, white people. And I'm just like, I wish Denzel could have just gave us a fully black cast. That's my only gripe with it.
I heard it was based on a true story though. So I mean,
so
there's only so much. A lot of these movies are based on a true story.
Y'all niggas can throw inspired by and change everything. So my number 3 film, my top number 3 film of 2021. Listen, man, it was at the beginning of the year too. I'm going with Malcolm and Marie, played by Zendaya, Denzel Washington's son, John David Washington. That movie was a class in acting. It was a class in relationships. It was just a class in the art form, cinematography. It was literally one long ass night that was just depicted in this movie. They got into some real sticky relationship shit. It caused a lot of conversations and shit on the timeline. And it was good to see, especially they're young. They're still so young and they felt like they were playing older characters too. I think that was one of the things that I fucked with the most. Malcolm and Marie, man.
It's a dope movie. I thought it was really dope.
Man. Gotta give it to him on that. My number 2 top movie of 2021. I'm going with King Richard, man. I'm going with. I think that was your number 2, right?
Something like that. 3. It was still
like
close. Yeah.
My number 2 is King Richard. A great, phenomenal movie. Will Smith did the damn thing. And more importantly, it showed me the history of the Williams sisters that I really didn't know. If you are not like into the tennis world, you really feel like Serena is the one, but you look at the movie and find out that Venus was the original one and Serena was following in her footsteps. I'm just like, damn, I didn't even fucking notice. And just the acting clinic that they put on, it was definitely a movie that touched my heart, like emotionally. I was kind of like, wow, this is
ended up being better than I thought, and I knew it would be good.
I had low expectations for it, and I'm not afraid to admit that. Will Smith has been okay for me for a while. This was really that was that stamp. That was that 2021 stamp right there. That was a good ass movie for this year. Well, for last year. And my number 1, it's got to be everybody's number 1. Honestly, shit, if it's not your number 1, what's your number 1? The Harder They Fall.
We agree on this. It's
gotta be number 1. The cinematography, the actors, the actresses, the acting, the story. I mean, I gotta go back again. The cinematography, like it amazing. It reminded me, whoever the director, shouts out to you. Like that shit felt like Quentin Tarantino times 10. We already know what Quentin does when he makes movies. If I'm saying that shit was times 10, that is something to be rivaled with, dog. That was such a phenomenal movie. Everybody came and played their part. It was really beautiful to see such a black ensemble cast come together for a movie like this. Right. It was a Western, something totally different from what we're used to seeing black people thriving in, especially in that time period. We're not used to seeing black people thrive in that time period, and they just told a really good story. Right. So, yeah, man.
So James Samuel is the director of The Harder They Fall.
Gotta shout him out.
And like you say, I think the movie was dope. There was one of those movies that I saw in limited release at the movie theater, and I felt like that you should. And that's why a lot of these movies, actually, due to COVID, we couldn't see in the movie theater. I think Space Jam should have been seen, like you said, in the movie theater. The Harder They Fall should have been seen in the movie theater.
Definitely. King Richard.
And I don't like that we couldn't see Coming to America in the movie theater. I can't even own it because Amazon's like, I like physical copies. I like physical copies. I can't have a physical copy.
You got that Fire Stick, don't you?
Right. And like I said, man, these movies aren't as profitable now because you only get profit if Netflix makes these movies and put it on Netflix. If Warner Brothers makes these movies and have to put it on the app, well, now you got a whole situation like Black Widow where these people have in their contracts to make certain amount of money if the movie make a certain amount of money. So, I mean, that's pretty much it I have on that.
Yeah, man. So I know you wanted to get into future. So we talking this year, 2022 it just started. Right. We don't really I don't think any black movies have really come out just yet. That I know of. I haven't been to the movies to see shit. Ain't nobody putting it out. So we're trying to see, I guess, you know what I'm saying, what are we looking forward to this year?
So me personally, I can't wait to see Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, man. I think that a lot of stuff has been going on with that movie naturally, since the death of Chadwick Boseman, COVID. I think I have no doubt that the movie's gonna be awesome. But man, if it comes out and just be awesome, that just lets you know that the director is just a dope individual, that he can work around all this shit.
And Marvel too, man. They just have I don't know anything about the industry, but like, I guess in the writing room, do people come up with what if scenarios when they write?
Yeah, I mean, you as far as production, you mean like production goes, well, I have to dealing with
like as far as a writer,
and,
like you have, okay, this is what Black Panther 2 was, but just in case anything can happen, we also have written this different version. Just in case. Okay,
definitely. I mean, they probably had part 2 already kind of mapped out when the first one was out, so they knew where they wanted to go. Yeah. And then it was again, it's different because now Chadwick Boseman passed, and now they kind of have to write him out and weave him in. But I think, like I say, Ryan Coogler is such a great director, and I don't think there's been a whole bunch of talk of, oh, this happened. The movie has to be pushed back. No, they have contingency plans for that stuff. Whatever. So that's going to be dope. And I think the next one would be, what is the next one?
I know you was trying to think. I couldn't think of any that
the Jordan Peele joint. I forgot the name of it.
It's called Nope, I think.
Nope. We have no clue what
we don't know what's happening. We just know a couple of the cast members. Right. Daniel is going to be in that movie, and Keke Palmer is going to be in that movie. That's all we know.
That's all we know, and I have to give him his credit for that because all his movies so far, we had no clue what it is. For the last 3 movies, you literally don't know until you see a trailer or the movie comes out,
which is great.
So off top, those are the 2 I can't wait to see.
Yeah. I can't think of any, man, because people are quiet. I don't know if the industry's real quiet. I know, which it won't come out this year. So should I really speak on it? It's good to know that we're gonna get a girls trip too.
Yeah.
They just announced that, so I mean that's good. That ain't coming out this year though.
No, that's not coming out this year at all.
I mean, yeah. 2022 should be a great year when y'all tell us what's going on. Which actually, I'm gonna get into this because I think it's gonna be where we're going with our next couple of episodes. Listen, man, TV is in a really great spot. Black TV, television, these shows are really good. And I definitely want to highlight not only the best shows that have come out in history, but some of the shit that's really going on right now, man. It's a lot of great shows coming out. And for a show that's coming out in February, we definitely want to do an episode for one of those because we feel like it's one of the greatest shows that's could have possibly came out, especially for kids. So we got some real good shit coming with television. I think I might want to get into that sector for the next couple of episodes and see what's going on with that. Switch up the routine just a little bit. I think we've given y'all some good movie reviews to look at. Now I want to dive into some television shows, man. So yeah. Top 5 episodes of 2021. Right. It's been a good year, a year of transitioning back into the theaters. But 2022, hey, a lot of these movies are telling y'all now, hey, only in theaters, bring your ass, because this is what it is. Get your vax if you need to. If you ain't, oh well. This is where we're putting this shit. Go get it. Now, what y'all will probably see is quicker DVD releases and quicker streamer releases after the theatrical release. But other than that, shit, we going back to the theaters, baby. Get your stubs list. I wish we had Movie Pass again.
Oh, fuck Movie Pass, man. I'm telling you, you better get your AMC.
I want to do a whole episode on Movie Pass and just the business structure. 2018
I don't even
was
understand
such a great year. It was such a stupid plan.
I don't understand that at all.
Jesus Christ. But top episodes of 2021, man. It is me, your host, Louis B.
It's your boy K-Rob.
Another episode of BLASSIC. Ready to go.